All right, this is Dr. Deborah. I should say Reverend Dr. Deborah, right? Based on what I'm about to say. Well, I got some problems with Reverend. Got some problem with minister. I guess because I never saw myself as either one of those, even though now that I think about it, my college mates used to tease me, and I wish they could tell me what in the world I was doing besides going to church every Sunday. Maybe have some scriptures on my wall in my bedroom or something that would make them call me that. I gotta ask, but but I guess whatever it was clear that I was a believer and I was serious about it, and that's been the case since 11. Yeah, yeah, since 11, probably even before if I think about it long enough. But anyway, it's taken me all that time, guys. All of this time, it's taken me all of this time to reconcile who I am, who I who I was born to be, and who I actually am being. Wow, that's hot. And what I realized is that I was always a seer. I was always a sage. I was always a deep thinker. I guess I took some things, some otherworldly things, just I guess as serious as a sage is supposed to take them. All of that being said, it's taken me all this time to, even when I say that, it's hard for me to say that it's taken me all this time because I've been on a journey toward this for as long as I've been here. And I think along the way, I've probably done some things that I should have done and some things that I should not have done related to this thing. And now I'm at a position in my life where I know that my call for the rest of this natural life, however long that is to challenge the world of believers to be more of who we are. Suppose, and I hate supposes, but let me say, to be the kind of people, see, using my skill, the kind of people that would make it easier for people to want to be what we are or embrace our ideas. Because if you want to influence someone, you have to be an influencer. You have to be somebody that is influenceable, or people will have to be open to what you're trying to get them to do. But even if we just cut all of the evangelistic talk and just stop trying to get people to be what we think they ought to be and just be what we are, who we are inside, who we propose to be, then we'll be more effective. It's kind of like if I were trying to teach you how to be a therapist, which is where I'm going, there's a way that I could do that that would make you more receptive to what I'm saying. And that's my point. Since Christians in this world think they're supposed to evangelize everybody else, you notice I'm using third person here. Since that's supposed to be what we're here to do, then my offering is here's a way to be that more effectively, starting at home. I live in America. We got lots of problems. We always have because we're human. But I guess one of the biggest problems I think we've had is our walk and our talk have always been contradictory. Day one, first step on the shores in Jamestown, day one, the walk and the talk has not been matching. And I didn't want to be that kind of preacher. So let me get back to that. But let me say that's been my deal. That's been my deal. I didn't want to be that kind of preacher, telling people what they ought to do and what they ain't doing. Just you know, basically say this is a way. Now that's where I'm headed right now. Here is a way that I think will put us on the road to congruency. When in the year 1996, I started a doctoral program to to study family therapy. And the more I studied it, the more I realized the things that they were training us to be were the things, excuse me, were the behaviors and attitudes that were, I would just have to say, Christ-like. And the more I studied it and learned it and practiced it, the more I realized that it was so much like Christ and what Christ wanted for us. And I call Christ, and I know that's a title, so I want to, when I speak about Jesus of Nazareth, I want to talk about Jesus of Nazareth because that's not a title he gave himself, as far as I know. And so, Jesus of Nazareth, the great teacher. And let me just say, for those of you who don't think he was who he was, then how about the lies they told about who he was are such good lies that they're worth emulating if they're not true. Now, what I just did is what I was taught to do as a family therapist, and that is you don't have to convince people to be anything. As a matter of fact, that's the last thing you want to do is convince. What you want to do is treat them with kindness and openness and caring. And the word in the Bible would be grace. And with that graciousness, people hear you. People listen. And the only reason why they're hearing and listening, because you are listening and hearing. See, this is where I'm going with this. I want to invite, that's another one of my words, I want to invite the whole entire world of Christendom to be family therapists. Stay tuned for more of that, because I think that is the way. That is the way.